Today, we are in Alaska. That's right, we're on Celebrity's Eclipse. We're off to explore icy Strait, Juneau, and Ketchikan. So sit back and hang tight. We are at it. Alright, we made it into the hotel here in Vancouver, and boy, it's always a fun day when you have to go from Florida all the way across the country. It may be 2 a.m. Eastern Time, but I don't think we'll ever forget this view. Good morning. So here we are. And technically this is our second day, as it took a whole day to fly in. So we're currently staying at the Fairmount waterfront, and I gotta tell you, it is a great hotel, and it is super convenient to the ships, to the cruise port. Like, I can see my ship right here. I can almost see in the windows on it, it's that close. While the room service food was great, we didn't find out until after the fact that there's actually a food court in the hotel. You can't go wrong either way though. Let's go see what we can find around the port. Alright, just a few more hours till we get on the ship. It's a nice day out here, nice summer day in Vancouver. That means it's about 55 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you stay here overnight beforehand, I'll tell you the city is very walkable, and there's things to see right here at the cruise terminal. So don't be afraid to get out and check it out. So one thing that we really wanted to see in Vancouver is the steam clock. It's one of only a few in the world. Well, it looks like from the days gone past, it was actually built in 1977. So back over near the port, there's this wonderful trail that goes all along the water. So we were debating, do we stay at the airport hotel, or do we go in late and stay at the hotel right on the water? I gotta say, after doing it, stay at the hotel on the water. Checkout time is noon, so you got plenty of time to go pal around the city, and then go back up to your bag, get your bags, head to the ship. Alright, so Vancouver has been super fun, but we have to go get on that ship. While we pretty much always carry bags onto the ship, this time I'd suggest dropping them with the porter. The boarding process is a bit more complicated and takes longer than you may be used to. There isn't a straight path on board. You actually have to wait in several different lines for bags, check-in, US Customs, and security. That said, you can save some time if you get global entry. It's like TSA Pre, but it includes US Customs and can save you time getting on the ship. Alright, made it on board. Time to find the muster station. After mustering, you always have to go fix your dining reservations. Picking our specialty dining times was about the easiest we've ever had. I've got to say that Celebrity goes out of their way to say yes, where many other lines politely decline to change your dining times. So if you're looking for hamburgers, hot dogs, and no wait, we've got the place for you. It's the Mast Grill up on the pool deck. It's simple fare, but very good. It feels strange being on an empty pool deck. We are so used to cruising in the Caribbean, where that's the place to be. Here we are. Deck 7, room 130. The room was comfortable and felt very spacious. I gotta say, we went back and forth debating between whether we get a balcony or just a window view, but I'm kinda glad we got the balcony. It is nice. As we head to the sail away, we spot an old friend. We've had many wonderful cruises on Brilliance of the Seas back when it was based in Florida.
I'm losing my way.
It's always fun taking a big ship like this under a bridge like that. You always wonder just how close it's going to be. We made it. It feels strange having dinner when the day is still bright out, but I expect we're in for a lot of that. The main dining room was surprisingly good. It was a nice surprise to find out that they serve craft beer, and that the meals were noticeably better than other lines we've been on. The martini bar was especially cool for after-dinner drinks. And by cool, I do mean the surface of the bar was frozen. Good morning. It's a sea day, so let's go grab some breakfast and explore the ship. It's just a touch windy today. So it looks like we're outside of the inside passage, and that means the ship can pick up some speed. You can really feel it too. It is really windy. Every morning we like to walk after breakfast, kind of walk off what we ate. So here we are, dead on deck 5. But I'll tell you, we're probably going to stick to walking the pool deck, as that seems to be a way better spot with way better views. It's so cold they even have blankets in here. Check them out. So the grass areas on the top of the ship were really quite a bit of fun to see. I think we'd appreciate them a bit more later in the season when it's not quite so cold up here. Ping pong at the elevators. That's a new one for me. I've got to say that the specialty restaurants were great. We particularly liked the Italian restaurant as the food was fantastic and it had some of the best views on the ship. While it's technically not all you can eat, they brought us so many dishes to try. PM. It's still light out. So we're in icy Strait and it's our first Alaskan port ever. It's technically a cruise line owned port, but I've got to say it's really great. We're at the farther pier out, but there's a transporter that takes you to the main area. One thing to keep in mind about the transporter is it can have the occasional slowdown or stoppage, so make sure you give yourself plenty of time to get to your excursion. They are all on the far side. So this place is so cool. Like, you can see the snow on top of the mountains. Like, we're really feeling like we're in Alaska. There's a little bit of time when we were like fogged in, but now, oh, it's cold. And yes, the water is that cold. The shopping here in Icy Strait was some of the best of the whole cruise. Our takeaway is if you see something you like, get it. You may not see it again. Alright, made it to the dock. I think our boat's going to be up here just ahead. So in Alaska, there's one nearly mandatory excursion that you just have to do at some point. We're looking for humpbacks. So getting a photo of the whales is almost like a game. You have to look for the water spouts and just start snapping photos. So you know it's cold when I'm putting the beanie on. But yeah, this is awesome. So far, some whales. Saw a sea lion right up against the boat. Pretty awesome. You gotta come check this out. When you see the whale's tail, that means that they're diving deep and likely won't be back for about 10 minutes or so. It's formal night, time to head to dinner. So I've got to say the French restaurant had the best food on the ship, and the service was, dare I say it, perfect. The food was adventurous, but still accessible, and there was really something for everyone. So while we didn't partake in the silent disco ourselves, it was still quite a lot of fun to watch and guess what songs were playing. Good morning! It's time to have a light breakfast and edit some video before we arrive at the Hubbard Glacier. This is as far north as we'll be going on this sailing. Alright, I think we found a pretty good viewing spot here up on deck 14. It's crazy just how much ice is in the water. That's something that I just never expected to see. And there it is. The mountains give way and the glacier begins. It's hard to believe just how big it is. So I gotta say, the Hubbard Glacier has been one of the highlights of this trip. It is so cool out here. It's almost unreal. The thing is huge. This really is the experience of a lifetime. If you come here, you've just got to see this. If you come to Alaska, you cannot miss seeing the glacier.
I told you, well, I know you, been holding hands with anxiety.
It is now time for the Florida equivalent of the polar plunge.
Every Friday when your friends are busy living life.
So here we are in Juneau, Alaska. We finally made it here. And I've got to say, it is so picturesque here, you just won't believe it. We're off to the Tracy Arm Fjord to see the Sawyer Glacier. So this was a last-minute excursion for us. It's a 7-hour boat tour, but I've got to say that this was the best excursion of the cruise. I highly recommend it. No one said we're going to get to see whales again. So it's a long excursion, but there's no need to bring food. They provide lunch, as well as have a stand where you can buy snacks or drinks. This is awesome. Somehow I think we're getting close to the glacier. It is hard to describe just how big these icebergs are. They've got to be as big as the boat we're on, and that's just what you can see out of the water. That looks like fun. Bust out the kayaks on the cruise ship. It's hard to find words to describe the glacier. All I can say is that seeing the glacier has got to be on your must-do list for Alaska. You've got to check out the goat right there. It doesn't get much better than this.
Yeah, that's made with glacier ice.
And now we've got a new favorite drink, the Glacierita. If you're sailing out of Seattle like on this Carnival ship, consider doing the excursion here. They'll drop you off in a boat like ours, and you'll meet back up with them later in Juneau. As we get back to Juneau, it's time to find a nice place to eat. As it turns out, the hangar restaurant is located just past the drop-off point. The food was pretty typical bar food, but really it's good. And yes, that is our ship outside the windows. The wings were good, but it was the chowder that was the star of the show here. It looks like we still got some time before all aboard, so let's go check out the town. So I've got to say that Juneau exceeded all of my expectations. It was everything I pictured of Alaska and more. And if you're in Juneau, you've just got to stop at the Red Dog Saloon. Yes, I did enjoy the Old West-style saloon doors. I may or may not have gone through them multiple times. Alright, we made it out of the Red Dog Saloon with just a couple of t-shirts. The tram to the top of the mountain looks like a lot of fun, and we're definitely going to have to do that next time. It is on the bucket list. We are going to do it. Alright, I think that's it for Juneau. We got about 20 minutes to get back on the ship, so we're heading that way. So if your balcony is on the starboard side or the right-hand side of the ship, you can get to have a great view of the pier runners coming in, you know, right after all aboard. $9:30 dinner with a view. If you're wondering how the buffet dinner is, you won't be disappointed. It's as good as the dining room, and they really do have everything you could want. We'll end the night with our new favorite drink. Good morning. It's time to go explore Ketchikan. This is our last port of call before we head back to Vancouver, and we've heard good things about it. Yeah, I kind of think it rains a lot here. Looks like it's always Christmas in here. Creek Street is probably what Ketchikan is known for best, and it is amazing. So I think Creek Street is where the salmon run, but we're not seeing any today. They're supposed to be starting any time now. Alright, I think we found just the place. Nothing like one last Alaskan brew before we head back to Vancouver. That is good. So our trip to Alaska was a 10 out of 10. We will be back. We'll catch you next time here at the Weekend Experience.